Delighted to welcome two counselors from Henrico County to help us as we talk about the National School Counseling Week. I did a bit of research and it seems like it's been around since 2006, not that long, but you came up with some delightful ideas of how to celebrate it this year. And so let me briefly introduce each of you and you tell us about what you do, and then we'll get you to tell us what your idea was, and then we will show people the results of your work. Brett Welch is elementary and TISC counselor mentor, Henrico County Public Schools, and we're going to get you to explain that TISC. And Lila Hiltz is at Donohoe Elementary School. And Lila, you were the 2020 Elementary School Counselor of the Year. So we are delighted to have the two of you, and you serve in a very important role as co-chairs of Advocacy for Virginia School Counselor Association. So thank you all for being here. And Brett, now before we get into the heart of the show, what is a TISC Counselor Mentor?
So that is new this year, and Henrico County, through the CARES Act, was able to hire 10 new counselors who are split between two schools. So we're serving 20 schools in a part-time status as a complement to the full-time counselor. So that stands for Tiered Intervention School Counselor. So I'm the mentor kind of overseeing this new group, and it's been extremely successful. So we're gathering some data that we will certainly be using in VSCA to show the efficacy of having an additional school counselor with qualified boots on the ground and what that does for kids.
Oh, that's exciting, and great use of some of the CARES Act. And is this the only place that it's happening in the Commonwealth?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I know there are other places that have hired additional school counselors,
Right.
and hopefully there will continue to be based on the work of VSCA and other organizations who support us in lowering those ratios.
Great. Well, Lila and Brett, how did the two of you tell us about this idea you came up with about how to celebrate National School Counseling Week?
I was like, we'll talk over each other, but I think Brett is little bit was Brett's brainchild. Sort of our conversations about, we knew that we had some really great support from legislators in our conversations in past legislative days where we've been able to be in person. And with this year, with the virtual switch to both session for the House and for the Senate not being able to be in person, we had some conversations about what that could look like from advocacy. And in that, we sort of talked about, what if instead of just us making videos, what if we asked the legislators and the key stakeholders in our Commonwealth to share some about their experience with school counselors and what they appreciated about school counselors.
So Brett, Lila says it was your brainchild. How did you get this fantastic brainchild idea?
Oh my gosh, I think she's giving me a lot of credit. I don't know that it was completely my brainchild. I would say also the board, our VSCA board is a phenomenal group of people, and they had some ideas as well. And I think they suggested, hey, do you think we could get a couple of maybe, Secretary Carney and a couple of other people to make some videos? And I think I was the one who said, why not? Let's ask all of them. Let's ask everybody to do it. So that's what we did. And David, you helped us put out a call to arms, and we asked everybody who was willing to submit. And we got some amazing responses, and we're just thrilled with the results.
Well, you certainly did, from the governor, Secretary Carney, and others. And I know, had it not been such a busy time, we would have had more videos than we could have used in any one show, because your support is there with all the legislators. So let me stop talking, and thank you all for introducing this. And let's get into some of the videos that you've prepared.
Happy National School Counseling Week, Virginia School Counselors. At VSCA, we know you are all in for all students, but do you know who is all in for you? Regardless of how you are or are not being celebrated at your schools this week, we heard from a few Virginia folks who want you to know just how appreciated you are.
Hello, Virginia School Counselors. My name is Julia Taylor, and I'm chair of the Virginia School Counselor Association Board of Directors. We know what a trying and tumultuous year it has been for each of you, and want you to know that we see you, we appreciate you, and we know how hard you're working for your students in the community. On behalf of the Board of Directors, thank you, and happy National School Counseling Week.
Hello, I'm Governor Ralph Northam. I want to take some time during this year's National School Counseling Week to thank you for all the tremendous work you do for Virginia students. My wife Pam and I always talk about how school counselors are heroes. Our students need your support now more than ever. You provide critical mental health interventions, equip students and staff to engage in social emotional learning, and selflessly offer advice and guidance to students as they navigate school and life. And you play an important role in helping them cope with the challenges of growing up, mediate conflicts, and achieve academic success. Many of you often carry heavy burdens as you support students who are struggling, and the COVID-19 pandemic has only made your jobs more difficult. The challenging nature of this school year has also hit our students especially hard. It's not easy for children to be separated from their friends, miss the school activities they enjoy, or stay engaged while learning remotely. And even with all of the uncertainty and obstacles you face, you have stayed committed to keeping our students safe and ensuring they continue to receive vital services during this health crisis. From the very beginning, our administration has prioritized investing in school counselors, but our students need your support now more than ever. That's why we are providing $26.6 million in our budget to increase the number of school counselors and ensure we have one full-time school counselor for every 325 students. We have pushed for more school counselors for a long time, and this year we're going to get it done so you can spend more time with your students and less time on paperwork. Throughout these trying times, you continue to reach beyond yourselves to improve the lives of your students. You are inspired by the work you do, and I want you to know that your hard work does not go unnoticed. I am deeply grateful for the sacrifices you make for your profession. Thank you again for your ongoing efforts to address the needs of Virginia students and help them reach their full potential.
Hey, Virginia School Counselors, this is Skylar Van Valkenburg, delegate from Henrico County, but more important, high school civics teacher. Thank you for all the work you do, and thank you for your advocacy, both for education and for counselors, at large. You guys do incredible work. It's more important than ever. You're not going to find a bigger advocate for y'all than me in this General Assembly. And hopefully we can get some more money for some more counselors in the budget this year, because as you and I both know, come the spring, come the fall, kids are going to need more academic help than ever. They're going to need more mental health help than ever. And it's going to be a big transition to bring everybody, including adults, back into the school. So thank you for all you do. Thank you for your advocacy. Keep pushing, and let's make the Virginia education system as great as it can be. Thank you, y'all. Bye.
Hi, this is Senator Jennifer McClellan, and I'm here to say Happy National School Counselors Week. As the daughter of an educator who taught guidance counselors at Virginia State University throughout the Central Virginia region, I understand how important your work is. I know from my own experiences in school and seeing counselors with my own children, Jack and Samantha, at Fox Elementary School, you are a critical component to educating our children. You're needed now more than ever as we navigate through coronavirus and all of the stress around it. That's why I have been pushing for the past 2 years to fully fund the standards of quality as recommended by the Board of Education, including a counselor ratio of 1 counselor per 250 students throughout K through 12. And I have been pushing to lift the cap on state funding for support personnel. We know that our children need more than just teachers to be educated. They need all of their needs met, and you are a critical part of that. So thank you for everything that you do. We are pushing to give you the tools you need to do your job. But I just want to say we appreciate you, we love you, and we're grateful for everything you do.
Hello, I'm State Senator Ghazala Hashmi, representing the 10th Senatorial District. I'm so sorry that we're not able to meet in person this year, as in years past, but I just want to say thank you to all of Virginia's school counselors for the critical and the important work that you do, especially now during this crisis that we have been experiencing. Your presence in the lives of our students is so much more important. Thank you for everything that you continue to do on their behalf. I'm happy that we have some important legislation going forward in the Virginia Senate as well as in the House of Delegates that focuses on increasing our support resources for schools, including school counseling. Thank you once again.
As we celebrate National School Counseling Week, I want to take a moment to thank you, Virginia's hardworking school counselors. The past 12 months have posed unprecedented challenges for all Virginians, but especially for our public school students who have been abruptly thrust into an unprecedented situation. You're at the forefront of serving these students, and I'm grateful for your efforts. Thank you for all you do.
I'm Delegate Lamont David, Chair of the Virginia Legislative Black Caucus. Just want to take a moment during this 2021 National School Counseling Week to thank you for all you have done and will do for our teachers, our students, and our families across the Commonwealth. We celebrate you, and we want to make sure that you know that we appreciate all the work you do. We can't wait until we're able to send our young scholars back to schoolhouses across our Commonwealth. And we don't for a moment discount the challenges we face ahead. We will rely on you and your leadership to get through. And so allow me again to say thank you. For now, celebrate the best way you can. Be blessed. Thank you.
Hello, this is Delegate Shelley Simons, representing the 94th District, home of Newport News Public Schools. I wanted to wish everyone a happy National School Counselors Week. We really appreciate all you do for our students and the powerful role you play in our schools shaping the future. So thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Delegate Carrie Coiner, proudly representing the 62nd House District, home to Chesterfield County, the City of Hopewell, and Prince George County. I want to send a big thank you to all of our school counselors. You all do amazing work to ensure our children feel connected and appreciated and loved at all times, but especially during the COVID crisis. You all have made it where our kids who are really struggling to feel connected know that they have someone who cares for them and loves them and wants them to be in school every day, regardless of the setting. So on behalf of all parents, thank you for what you do each and every day to care for our children.
Hi, this is Delegate David Reed, representing the 32nd District, which is the eastern portion of Loudoun County. As you celebrate National School Counseling Week, I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for all the school counselors for everything that you're doing for our students during these very trying times. There's been additional pressures put on you and our children, and you have been able to face those issues, and you have been able to help our children work through these issues. Thank you again for all you're doing, and enjoy your celebration of National School Counseling Week.
Wow. Let me just start off by making the comment, wow. I mean, when you talk about the number of people already who we've heard from senators and from delegates, from people in both parties, the support for school counseling is not in any way a partisan issue. Your support comes from Democrats as well as Republicans. We heard the governor say something about the ratio of 1 to 325. Unfortunately, that's the best that seems that the governor was able to propose in this COVID time. But then you heard Senator McClellan talk about the push is to get 1 to 250. And that certainly, as the four of us know, has been the governor's goal until the bottom fell out with the pandemic that caused the mess. So we're having a conversation. We don't know what the final result's going to be in this pandemic session that we're in, 2021, but we know that there's an effort from the administration and the legislators to get more school counselors into schools live, virtual, whatever it is, to be able to help. But say something, the two of you, about the ratio and why that's important. People around Capitol Square know because they've heard you, but people around the Commonwealth may not know. Why is it important to have a certain ratio? Brett, you start.
Sure. I think for anyone, in any job, if you think about going into your job and being responsible for the academic, social, emotional, and career and college readiness for 500 people or more, you would feel overwhelmed. And that's not an unreasonable number in terms of what school counselors have, especially at the elementary level, but sometimes even at the middle or high level. And then we go down to more rural parts of Virginia, and counselors are split. So their caseloads are even higher because they're not at their schools every day. They're split between multiple schools. So when we talk about lowering ratios, we're talking about having a school counselor in every building and a full-time school counselor for 250 students, 1 to 250. And that's a manageable number. That number comes from the American School Counselor Association. That is sort of their recommended ratio. In Virginia, we're calling it the gold standard, just to sort of give it a tagline. But that comes directly from our national organization. So that number is not pulled out of thin air. So that's what we're looking at. And that makes a caseload manageable. That makes it so you can know your kids, you can know their families, know their backgrounds, especially getting into high school and like I said, college and career readiness. How can you help 200 kids, which would be your senior caseload because they're divided by alphabet, get ready for college and career and have meaningful conversations about that if your caseload is 500, 600, in that range. So that's what we're thinking about. How can we make a meaningful difference for students?
And Lila, you're an elementary school counselor. Tell us something about why a ratio is very important to you and to your colleagues.
Yeah, so as Brett mentioned, that a not so uncommon ratio is 1 to 500. Prior to actually getting a tiered intervention support counselor, was at 1 to 520. So that's 6th grade levels and 520 students with a full-time counselor. And even running a really comprehensive program that tries to address all the needs at our top speed, there's just only so much one person can do. So even just with the addition of the tiered intervention support counselor this year that came in later fall, I've really noticed that ability. We're able to split up the things that we do so that we can be addressing multiple groups of students at the same time. So in the past, where it was just me, school counselors, especially at the elementary level, teach a pretty heavy load of classroom lessons. And so those school counseling curriculum are essential to teaching our students that social, emotional, academic, and career skills to all of our students. But we also run small groups and do individuals. And sometimes with just the number of hours in a day, the number of students you can put into a small group or meet individually is greatly impacted just by being one person in those lessons. So even just adding that extra halftime person, we're able to do, one of us can teach a lesson while the other is meeting with a small group of students at the same time. And so we're really able to address the larger needs of our students and even look at more targeted data and interventions to really help see our school-wide goals as we're looking at how are we at accreditation or our behavior goals, and really being able to focus in on groups that we can help support through those interventions when we have an extra person who can do that in our buildings as well.
Okay, thank you both. Now let's see some more of those congratulations and encouraging words that have come from friends at the Capitol and friends from other places. So we will now show the rest of those.
Hey, we know it's been a tough year, really a year like no other.
And we see the work you're doing to help students through everything happening in the world.
We know that work is not easy, and we appreciate all you do every day.
So thank you and happy School Counseling Week from all of us at the Virginia Center for School and Campus Safety.
Hello, and congratulations to each guidance counselor. I am Delegate Jawan Ward. I represent the 92nd House District here in the city of Hampton. It's certainly an honor to share in this recognition for what you do for our children. You work to prepare students academically and socially for the challenges that lie ahead of each one of them. Whether it be to college, the military, or straight to a career, guidance counselors prepare our students for life. Thank you for everything that you do, and best wishes.
Hi there, I'm Senator Jennifer Boysko representing the 33rd Senate District, which is Eastern Loudoun County and Northwestern Fairfax County. And I want to say thank you to all the school counselors who have been working so hard to serve our community and our students over this past very difficult year. We want you to know that we really care about you and really appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
Hello, Virginia school counselors. I'm Delegate Mark Sickles. I just wanted to say thank you for all you do. I know you need reinforcements. We're working on that. Keep up the good work. Keep our kids safe. Give them good guidance. We're counting on you. Thanks again.
Hello, I'm Betsy Carr. I represent a portion of the city of Richmond. This week, we are celebrating National School Counseling Week. School counselors successfully juggle many important tasks, including mental health services and preparing students with the tools they need for long-term success. They are crucial to providing positive school environments and positive outcomes for our students. I know this past year has been very difficult, particularly in the area of mental health. Thank you for all our school counselors, for all the work that you do, for your dedication, for your wonderful work, and for being there for us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Delegate Rodney Willett, representing Virginia's 73rd House District here in Central and Western Henrico. And I want to send my thanks to the amazing school counselors here in Henrico County and across the Commonwealth. This has been a tumultuous year for everyone, but COVID-19 has especially impacted students. The work that you do to protect the mental health of students, keep them motivated, keep them on track academically, and prepare them for the future is essential this year and every year. Thank you so much.
You know, it's hard enough doing session from my house. I can only imagine you trying to do your job and help our students in schools across the computer screen. Thank you for everything you're doing. I know it's extremely tough in traditional years to help our students with mental health challenges and other needs they have when they come to you. And this year, I can't imagine the additional challenges of trying to do that across the computer screen. So thank you for everything you're doing this year. Thank you for all the help you're giving our students. I promise we're still working on those ratios to get you some additional necessary help, and look forward to seeing all of you all in the future. And thank you again for everything that you continue to do.
Hello, everyone. I am Atif Karni, Virginia's Secretary of Education. I'm so thrilled to get a chance to thank you, all of the Virginia's amazing school counselors, for everything you do and everything you have done the last 11 months or so during these very tough times as we are all getting through a pandemic. School counselors, you all are at the heart of our schools, and every day you work to equip students to engage in social emotional learning, navigate through past traumas, and also help them make good decisions on their academic and vocational pathways. Our Commonwealth is really dedicated to making sure that all of our students have the resources necessary to succeed in their academic careers, and you play such an important role in supporting all of our students every step of the way from kindergarten to graduation. This, of course, has been a very difficult year, and also more important than ever, this has been tough on students, and we have to keep their well-being in mind. So thank you so much for keeping our students in mind and making the sacrifices you all have made for our students and their families and your school communities. So the governor and I are really here to fight for you and really support our school counselors throughout the Commonwealth and really focus on making sure that we have the gold standard of one school counselor to 250 students throughout the entire grade band, and also making sure that we have more funding to support student mental health. So we're so grateful for all the work you do. You are literally our heroes, and I want to wish everyone happy National School Counseling Week.
Hey everyone, Joe Wharf, Associate Director in the Office of Student Services at the Virginia Department of Education, former school counseling specialist. I want to take the opportunity to celebrate you during National School Counseling Week. You are in a profession that has the honor of truly serving the whole student. Your work makes a difference, and that's being seen and recognized now at the highest levels. That recognition is a result of a number of different things, but most notably, your advocacy efforts at the school level and VSCA's advocacy effort at the state level to heighten the awareness of the importance of what school counselors do every day to improve the lives and overall outcomes of those precious students that we serve. So it's also due to the fact that our leaders and legislators at all levels are continuing to grasp the impact of how a comprehensive school counseling program can address the equity gaps, address mental health issues, and improve student achievement. As a result of this and many other things, they are seeing the necessity to increase your numbers in schools throughout the Commonwealth. So keep advocating, keep improving, and continue to stay connected to the efforts to raise awareness of the important work that you do. Our students are worth it. Thanks and have a great week.
Well, I could say a double wow after seeing all of those clips. Thank you so very much. Angel Miner is one of our co-hosts of This Week in Virginia. And Angel is one who's just a few years away from high school, now VCU Center. We'd like to invite you to make any comment or raise a question. And then Lila and Brett wrap up the show for us. Angel?
Thank you. I didn't realize how privileged it was to grow up in Prince William County, seeing that I've always had like a variety amount of counselors I could go to, whether they were for me or not. So this was really eye-awakening to see that there are some parts in the state that doesn't have the same equality as in Northern Virginia. That was interesting.
Good point. It differs around the state. Lila and then Brett, wrap up This Week in Virginia for us.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and thank you to all the legislators who did the videos, as well as those who just offer their listening ear and support for school counselors. We've always been greeted with a smile and an open door, and we really appreciate that. Even if we have at times disagreed on things, we are always well respected, and really appreciate the opportunity too that all of our advocacy team, our school counselors who are working in the field and are really trying to do their best to meet the needs of the students within the Commonwealth and keep advocating for just the importance of this profession, because we all want what's best for the students of Virginia.
Thank you, Brett.
Well, I definitely echo Lila's sentiments, and I do want to say happy National School Counseling Week to all of the school counselors in Virginia. We are a unique group in terms of professionalism and skills and advocacy, and many people don't know this, but I think one of the leaders in the nation in terms of what we do in terms of advocacy for school counseling and how much we push for the appropriate role of the school counselor and, in working with kids. And especially now in this time with the pandemic, and our school counselors have navigated, as Lila said before, going from in-person to virtual and all that comes with that, and then back to in-person, and it differs around the state where people are, hybrid models, and it's been wild. And how do we do meaningful work for kids and do what's best for kids, which at the end of the day is what we always ask ourselves. And, when we do come back out of this, there's going to be a lot of work to be done, particularly crisis work and mental health work that is essential. For 70% of people, a school counselor is the only mental health professional they will ever know in their lives. So having excellent qualified school counselors in their buildings is essential in building those skills, coping mechanisms to just handle life. So not just college and career readiness, but the social emotional part of the job is so essential. So thank you, David, for having us and for this opportunity. And we're just so thankful to be involved in this, and thankful for all the school counselors out there working so hard.
Well, thank you both, and thanks so much for being on This Week in Virginia, and our viewers will enjoy watching this more than just once. Thank you.